Every game has 11 players from each team enter the pitch. Last season, Arsenal had 26 different players start. Seems too many. What we're going to be discussing today is where we can improve, who we need to get rid of, and who needs to stay. Welcome to the Hybrid Theory. We are going to be jumping straight in today. In front of me, you see a lovely little tile maker. So I spent the last 20 minutes figuring out how this worked and getting all the PNGs ready for this to work. So today we're going to be discussing the squad depth star players. Who are our out and out star players? We cannot let them go for any reason nor money. Number 2, great squad depth. Who's going to be able to come on and make an impact at 60, 70 minutes and be able to change a game? Third choice, the backup player. Someone gets injured. Touch wood, that doesn't happen. But if it does, who's going to be able to step up into the team and be that pinnacle player that we need? Do we have any? Do we need to invest into that area? Option 4, loan out. Who needs more game time and isn't going to get it in Arsenal? We've got a lot of positions to fill. We've got a lot of players. And we're looking to sign a lot more. Is there someone that's going to do better elsewhere? And finally, number 5, who needs to get sold? Who's had their time? Who doesn't fit? Who needs to leave? Simple as. Let's get into it. We're going to start top of the list, which is obviously a goalkeeper. This is in no particular order. This is just how I downloaded them from the site. So I don't have any favourites. I do. And if I did, that they would be saved till last. So keep that in mind. So first on the list is Kepa. Obviously with Kepa, we only signed him a couple of days ago. I think he is a great squad depth player. He's a fantastic number 2. He's also Spanish. He knows Raya. He also had a chat with Kai Havertz before he joined, saying that he's very excited to be in the dressing room, which I think is fantastic. You know, it's great to hear that from the players saying, "Oh, I want to join," or "I've had a chat with someone, and yeah, I can't wait to get into that dressing room." Like that fills me as an Arsenal supporter with so much confidence that we're doing the right thing. In previous years, we haven't had that. We've had tomfoolery. You know, look at your Aubameyang, your Lacazettes, the ones that didn't really want to be there. The ones that are only there for the money or didn't really take it seriously, we don't have that anymore. That side of Arsenal is gone. Doesn't exist anymore. We are now a force to be reckoned with. That dressing room is only filled with positive thoughts. As we saw from the Amazon documentary, we saw that it is a serious deal. Everyone there wants to win. And if you don't want to win, get out. I think that's the mentality that we should have with this list as well. Kepa clearly wants to come for £5 million. It's an absolute bargain. I think £5 million is way underpaying what his value is. Like, we've got to remember, he's the most expensive goalkeeper. That's a heavy, heavy title to bring. But I think to have him as a backup for Raya, even if it's just competition to push Raya to be better, who's going to complain? Absolutely fantastic. Great squad depth. You can't change my mind. Great piece of work. I don't care. It's our one Chelsea signing for the year. So that's done. We're not going to get anyone else from Chelsea now. So this is brilliant, right? We've done it. It's out of the way. We don't have to worry about another Chelsea player coming like Sterling. Next on the list, Trossard, the ill Victorian child. Where does Trossard go in this list? He's not a star player, is he? He's not. Is he great squad depth? Maybe. I think he's a great backup player, personally. I wouldn't be upset if he left. He's, 30 this year? And he's okay. A little bit of me wants to bet him on get sold. Because I reckon we'll get 25-30 million for him. And that's around about, I think we paid £25 million for him. So if we could sell him and get 30 million, yeah, I mean, I think that's a good piece of business. But that all depends on what signings we make. So I think, personally, I think that he's a great backup player. I do. I think he's a good backup player, but I don't think he's not a star player, and he doesn't really add depth. Next up, Raya. But we don't need to talk about this one. Raya's been absolutely fantastic. Golden Glove winner 2 times in a row. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be in the title race. I know we came second. Yes, we came second 3 times. All right? We can all laugh about it now because it's happened. But we've also made more money than most other clubs. And we've gained more points than most other clubs thanks to this man right here. So, you can't argue. You have no defence. He is a star player. Thank you. No more needs to be said. Up next is Odegaard. I personally, when Odegaard first joined, I was a little sceptical, if I'm being totally honest. He didn't have a great loan season with us. I think he scored like 2 goals in the loan season he was here, but he did show great promise. In the first season he was with us, fantastic. He definitely adapted more to the Premier League. Season after that, even better, and I thought, wow, we've got a really, really good player. But he just was not up to standard last season. Does that mean I'm going to drop our captain? Absolutely not. Fully back our captain. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I do think his leadership needs to be a little bit more. I think he needs to get a bit more of a backbone. I think he's very, very young, but the squad was also very, very young. I do think he needs a bit more of a backbone, just to kind of like get. It's when we're winning 1-0 at 80 minutes and we just seem to let it go. That's where the captain should be really coming in and commanding the team to do something. So, I don't know. I was a little disappointed with his performance last season, but saying that, his last game was fantastic. One of his best games. Unfortunately, the last game of the season. I kind of want to put him between these two, but I know that's not an option. I'm going to go with star player because he is our captain. He has flashes of brilliance, and I hope that next season it's just brilliance and not flashes. I hope it's just a bright, shining light and leads us to our Premier League title. But I'm going to put him in star player because I think he has the capability of being a star player. This is 25-26. This isn't a review of 24-25. This is what I think they're capable of for the 25-26. And I think for the 25-26 season, he is going to be a star player for us. Up next, Mikel Merino. Because he's a sheep. Merino's a sheep. Don't know if you know that. Great squad depth. I think he's fantastic. Is he a backup player? It's going to be difficult to tell. I think with the signings that we're looking to make, the way that the club wants to go forwards, I feel like this might have been a bit of a panic buy at the time. Look how many midfielders we have and where we've had to play them. If Rice is fit, Odegaard's fit, and Havertz is fit, and they're all playing well, and you got Zubimendi. I've not even put Zubimendi on this list. He's not confirmed yet. If they're all playing well, that's 4 midfielders. Where does Merino fit into that? He's not a star player, although he got 8 goals last season for us. It was fantastic for what he did. With all the injuries we had, to be able to come in and play that 9 role you've never played before and play extremely well with the instincts of a 9 that you didn't think he would have. I think he played extremely well. He's not a star player by any means, but he did a really great job. And I think that deserves to be put in great squad depth because he does give us that depth. He's not a backup player, although he was used as a backup player because of the injuries. I think he's more of a squad player in terms of he's there if we need him. We can bring him on. If we want to rest our new number 9, whoever that may be, we know we can put Merino there for 20, 30 minutes and he can do a good job. It's not a case of, we have to put Merino there because we've got no other option. I think that happens. I don't think Arteta would go, no, I'm not going to put him there. He's bottom of the list for me. I think he's proven that he can be that squad player. So for me, I think it's great squad depth. I think he fits into that category really, really well. He's not a backup player. And I know what some of you are saying. Oh, but Trossard played more minutes than Merino last season. Yes, he did play more minutes. He also had less goals. And I don't like him. Moving on. Ben White. Ben White had some injuries last season, didn't he? And I really like Ben White. He reminds me of someone from Towie, or The Only Way is Essex. Benny Blanco. I quite like Benny Blanco. Where does he fit into the Arsenal squad, though? Well, let's have a look at how many right-backs we've got. So we obviously have Timber. We have Ben White. We have Tomiyasu when he's fit, if he's fit. And then we're potentially looking to sign someone else as a right-sided centre-back that wants to play right-back from Valencia. Who knows? Who knows? That's 4 options. Realistically, it's 3 options, but you can't Tomiyasu. So it's 2. So it's going to be Ben White or Timber, which is what happened last season, which is why both of them were out for so long. Is one of them gets fatigued because he's playing too many games. The other has to come back before he's ready. He gets injured and you play the other person before he's ready, before he can recover. And it's just a vicious cycle. So I do feel like this is maybe where we need some more squad depth. I do think our right back wouldn't go amiss, or someone that can play that position. I don't know if that's Tomiyasu, but we'll get on to that because we've not got Tomiyasu yet. Where does Ben White go in this table? I think Ben White serves a role in terms of before his injury, he was our first choice right back. He's not a star player. He's not a backup player. He is a great squad depth player. He will come on and do a job for you. If you need him to start and play 60 minutes, he'll do a fantastic job. The link up that he has with Saka and Odegaard, it's that trio, got so many goals. So many goals. I'm saying it's too many to describe. They were just a formidable trio when they were all fit. And it was fantastic to see on that right side. With Timber coming in, I think Timber has overtaken Ben White. I do. I think Timber has now become our first choice right back. But that's not through outperforming Ben White. I think it was because Ben White wasn't fit and Timber moulded that, but he made that right back role his. That makes sense. But yeah, I think Ben White's a fantastic squad player. Up next on the list, Reiss Nelson. I think we should sell him. I know that Fulham, he's in a Fulham kit because that's the one that was on the Premier League site. I reckon Fulham should buy him. A good price for Reiss Nelson? I don't know. I would say 15, 20 million. But then he's English, so that adds extra money. Is he Premier League proven? He did play a couple games for Fulham. He didn't score many, but I think he was a good squad player for them. He's definitely not a squad player for us. And I don't think he would make the team now, especially if we're looking to get another right wing. But also, Nwaneri is just better than Reiss Nelson. Like, I remember watching the Bournemouth goal, and I sung his praises, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic what he did. But nothing happened after that. What did he do after that? That was his one. That was his one and done for Arsenal, unfortunately. I wish there was more, and there wasn't. I reckon we should cash in, recoup some of that money, because we didn't have them last season. Could he have been useful when Saka got injured? Maybe, but that is something we will never know. I reckon get him sold. Get him gone. Wash our hands. Thank you very much for your contribution. Up next, Declan Rice. Yes. Do you know, I'm going to put him to the front of the list. I know it doesn't really matter too much, but it matters to me. It matters to me. And Declan Rice should be at the front of that list for now because he is absolutely phenomenal. And he has made that left 8 role his. He was sublime. Unreal last season. 2 free kick goals in a game against Real Madrid after not scoring a single free kick goal in your whole entire career. He just takes it like he does it on the training ground every day of the week. It's just unbelievable player. I think he's going to be absolutely phenomenal next season. I cannot wait to see more of him. I'm very excited. I don't have a Declan Rice shirt, but when the new kit comes out, and I'm not talking about the home kit, I've got too many home kits. I'm talking the away kit or third kit. I will be getting Declan Rice on the back of it. And you can hold me to that because it will happen. Next up, Jesus. This is a bit of a difficult one again because Arsenal will sign a striker. It is guaranteed. That will happen. If they don't, then we're basically saying we don't want to win the Premier League. We don't want to win the Champions League. It's essentially what we're doing if we don't sign a striker. So I'm taking this into account. I'm calculating in my head, doing the numbers. We will sign a striker. So where does Jesus come into this plan? Where is he going to be? What is he going to be doing? You can't sell him. He's too injury prone. No one's going to buy him. I think he's got 2 years left on his contract, so maybe we could loan him out. He's not getting sold. He won't get sold because no one's going to want to buy him. If you loan him out, maybe, but he is on a lot of money as well. So, like, if we loan him out, we're probably still going to have to pay half his wages. And then who are we going to have as a backup, even if he is fit? So these are all things that Arteta has probably already taken into account. It's all things that Berta has probably already taken into account. But now I've got to take it into account. And I don't know much about football in terms of logistics. So I'm just going to go, he's injury prone. I think he's a great backup player. And you can argue with me all you want, but this is my list. And I'm putting him as a backup player. Realistically, we could probably loan him out. We could. We could loan out Jesus. We could limit his playing time, or like put him in Brazil where it's not going to be as intense of the games. Although I don't know if any of you are following the Club World Cup. They're doing very well, the Brazilian teams, I must admit. And the Saudi teams. Like Brazil and Saudi teams are absolutely ripping up the Club World Cup. It's phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it. Mainly because it's never happened before. But I do think that Jesus has a role in the squad. It's just how big of a role will depend on the signings that we have. But at the moment, a great backup. Do I want to see the Jesus that joined the first 6 months when we signed him? Absolutely. That pre-season where we beat Sevilla 5-1 and he scored a hat-trick was the best Jesus I've ever seen. If that Jesus comes back, I don't care if we sign Gyökeres or Sesko because they're not starting. Jesus will. But the problem we have with that is he's long gone. That Jesus is gone. He's dead. He will never return. We are only left with sorrow. So that taken into account, great backup player. Next up, Zinchenko. Personally, I don't think Zinchenko has a place in this team anymore. I think Arteta has lost trust in him. I lost trust in him. He just didn't fit. He was great for the squad depth 2 seasons ago. I feel like the team with Calafiori coming in, with Lewis-Skelly having a breakout season, that's 2 great left-back choices. Zinchenko doesn't really fit into that role anymore. He doesn't really offer us anything that those 2 don't. So I don't see how he gets into the squad unless both of those are out or we sell one of them. And I don't see us selling Calafiori or Lewis-Skelly, since he just signed a new contract. So that taken into account, I reckon we sell him. Who do we sell him to? Well, he's right next to Reiss Nelson, Fulham. I think Fulham should buy him. I know they're interested. I think the asking price was like 10 million, but I think he'd probably get 15 or 16. I think 10 is shortchanging us. If we could do a pairing deal for the 2 of them, 45, 50 mil for the both, I reckon that's good business. I reckon everyone would be happy with that. 50 million for Zinchenko and Reiss Nelson for Fulham team. Oh yeah, they would take it up. I could even see Brentford taking them, to be honest. When we get Odegaard, once again, not on the list because he's not confirmed. So all the people in the comments saying, oh, there's no Odegaard. Oh, there's no Zubimendi. Until they have been announced by Arsenal, they will not be on this list. Back to it. Zinchenko. I reckon, yeah, we sell him. Get the money, and yeah, be done. Great squad player, don't get me wrong. 2 seasons ago. But now, he doesn't have a place in the team. I'm sorry, Zinchenko. I love you, but not for me anymore. I've moved on. Up next, Kai Havertz. Ooh, I love Kai Havertz. 50 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. 9 goals last season, then got injured, then came back and couldn't really make his way back in. Wasn't really 100% fit. Is he a star player? Is he a backup player? By no means is he a backup player. You can't put Kai Havertz as a backup player. So he's really only got one place to go, which is a great squad depth player. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Havertz doesn't have a role. There is no number for Havertz. He is just him. But that does offer a lot of benefits. If you want someone to be able to run down the wing, you want someone to be able to go down the middle, you want someone to be able to play that left 8, Kai Havertz can do it. He can do it to a standard where it's good. I wouldn't say that he's ever a 10 out of 10, but he will always give you that 7 or 8 out of 10 performance in those roles. And I think that's always good. He's never really given us a horrendous performance. He's always given us a good game. Yes, he might not score every goal. He might not score every chance, but he does give his all. And I think for that, he's a great squad depth player. I do think 50 million was still a good price. Maybe we overpaid, but once again, it was from Chelsea again. But I do think it was a good piece of business, and he did help us. And I'm glad, because the experience he brings into the team is fantastic. So, yeah. Havertz, once again, fantastic player. Great squad depth. My boy. Saka. Star boy. Our star boy, number 7. Bukayo Saka. You can't get any better. You will not get any better. He is fantastic. In my opinion, one of the best right wingers in the world. Right now, yes, absolutely 100%. No shadow of a doubt. I know that there are better right wingers with better stats, i.e. Salah, but Salah is old and has been in the Premier League for longer. For the last couple of seasons anyway, he's been with a more experienced and a more title-winning team in Liverpool. Arsenal, however, have grown from 8th and 6th place finishes to finishing 2nd 3 years in a row. And Saka has brought them to that level as well. I would sell my left arm to keep Saka at this club. And I think most supporters, I would like to say 100% supporters would do the same. If someone said, Saka leaves or you lose a leg, I'm losing both legs just in case. I'll overbid. I'll go legless to keep Saka at this club. And no one can change my mind. But given that he is a star, he is fantastic. He gives Arsenal something that we lacked for a while on that right side. And he didn't have a great season after he came back from his injury. He didn't have as many goals or assists. He wasn't as quick or as nimble. But once again, he did come back from a hamstring injury. That's going to affect someone. It's going to linger in the back of your head. But I think the most important thing is he's had time to rest. He didn't play as many minutes after that. And we've got backup players now. We've got Nwaneri that can come on. I think in small bursts, he was fantastic. And I do think if we get Eze in, or we get another right winger, I know we're looking at Madueke, then Saka can really have some rest. And all of a sudden, we might get that 22-23 Saka breakout season back. And I'm very excited for that. He scored 15, 16 goals that season. Very excited. Oh boy. Up next, Tomiyasu. I really like Tomiyasu. I do. It's a shame I've only seen him play about 4 times. Because the man is made of breadsticks. I don't understand how someone can get injured so much. I don't. I just don't, like, how? What, like, I don't get it. I don't understand how the man can just break so quickly. For that reason in particular, Tomiyasu is a fantastic backup player. On to the next player. Gabriel. He is a star player. He is fantastic. Actually, I'm going to do 2 with this one. Because him and Saliba are star players. I know I've jumped, but you cannot talk about Gabriel without Saliba. It's not possible. So we're going to do both of them. 2 birds, 1 stone. Or in this case, 2 defenders, 1 ball. You can quote me on that. So, Gabriel and Saliba, best defensive partnership in the world currently. Change my mind. I know I'm biased. I'm an Arsenal fan. Of course I'm going to be biased about the defensive pairing. But at the same time, you cannot argue that they are 2 of the best centre-back pairings. I wholeheartedly believe that the previous season, the just gone 24-25 season, we would have got more points if Gabriel didn't get injured. I wholeheartedly believe that. Now, I know it came later into the season, but our set pieces were affected because we didn't have Gabriel. The games that we lost 0-0 or 1-1, the games that we drew or lost because we needed an extra goal and we had lots of set pieces and didn't score, but the games we didn't have Gabriel. And that really affected us. That lost us, I would say, at least 9 points. We lost at least 9 points from Gabriel being off that pitch. And don't ask me where I'm getting the numbers from. Don't ask me where I'm getting the stats from, right? My honest opinion from here, I reckon we got an extra 9 points just from him being on the field. And now that's mainly down to set pieces. It's mainly down to his defensive ability. Do I think Kivior did a bad job? Absolutely not. But Kivior can't score headers like Gabriel can from corners. Kivior can't hold up play like Gabriel can. And I do think that Saliba made more mistakes with Kivior by his side because he didn't trust him. He was having to play more defensively rather than aggressively without Gabriel because he knew that he couldn't rely on Kivior and that they hadn't played this many games together. Because we all see Saliba sometimes grab the ball and he'll just head into midfield. We've all seen it. That didn't happen towards the end of the last season because Gabriel wasn't there. We had Kivior in midfield and we had Saliba sat next to him, babysitting him essentially, to make sure he did a good job, make sure there wasn't any gaps. Because of that, Saliba's then not in the position he normally would be, which means the right back and left back are expecting him to be there and he's not. Once again, chain effect, butterfly, whatever you want to call it, it leads to a mistake because a player's not where in training they should be because they feel like they're having to look after someone else. And I think that happened up the pitch as well. I mean, you look at when Saka wasn't there, you look at Ben White, the transition to Timber. I think the only place that didn't happen was with Myles Lewis-Skelly. And I think that's mainly down to Hurland, mainly down to the under-21s and under-18s playing the same system that Arteta plays. All of those players play the same system, the same position, same method, same tactics as what the first team plays. That when they are ready, like Max Downing, Myles Lewis-Skelly, Nwaneri, when they are ready to make that jump, when they're ready to be a backup player or a squad depth player, they already know how to play that role. They don't have to wait. They don't have to come on and get fringe minutes. They know how to do it. And Myles Lewis-Skelly had a great start a great breakout season. And that's mainly down to the under-21s, under-18s, teaching them how to play and what position that Arteta wants them to play. And you can't argue with that. That is fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant from Haaland. And for that reason, they are a great centre-back pairing. But I do think if Gabriel was fit, we would be 9 points better off last season. Next one on the list, Lokonga. Sambi Lokonga. I don't think we should loan him out again. I don't think he did very well at Luton. Didn't play many minutes. And I don't know who would buy him, because I don't think he's very good and I don't rate him very highly. But I do reckon we'd probably get 10, 15 million. That's me stretching it, but he's still young. He's still got promise to do well. I think Zinchenko's older. I think it's like 28, 29. Sambi Lokonga is 22, 23. It's 6 years difference. Are they worth the same amount of money? Probably, because Lokonga could become a great player. Zinchenko isn't going to get any better, especially for the position that he plays. For that reason, I reckon Lokonga will cash out. Either someone will buy him or we'll loan him out again. What I want is him to be sold, because I want him off the wage bill. Because a lot of people that know me would know that when I watched him, I said, oh, Lokonga, he looks really good. And then immediately made a mistake and we conceded to lose the game. So for that reason, I want him sold. Next player, Fabio Vieira. I reckon we should loan him out again, because he's not ready. And we also have a lot of players in that role. Nwaneri, Odegaard, just to name two. And if we get Eze, that's three. Where does Fabio Vieira fit into that? He doesn't, right? But do we want to sell him? No, because I think he can be a good player. I think that he can really improve the squad. I just don't think he's ready yet. I think he needs another loan. Maybe back to the same team. Who knows? But anyone, I think loan him out again and just see what happens. Because he needs minutes. Because obviously he came to us with an injury. He didn't really have a great start into the Premier League. He needs minutes. He needs to get more experience. And I think he gets that from a different team. He's not making it into this Arsenal starting 11. He's not making it onto the bench. So he needs to be loaned out. Kivior, great squad depth player. Absolutely fantastic. Cannot argue with the man. When Gabriel got injured, Kivior stepped in. And I was very much like other Arsenal fans. I was very worried that he wouldn't make it. He wouldn't succeed. He wouldn't do us a good job. First game against Real Madrid, and boy was I wrong. Kivior stepped up. He wasn't the complete carbon copy of Gabriel. I don't think anyone can be a carbon copy of that man. But he put in a good shift, put it that way. He made me feel like I didn't have to be worried about that position anymore, which is fantastic. He didn't offer the same attacking threat as Gabriel, but defensively, you can't argue with him. I think he was fantastic. Although he did make Saliba worse. I know I've already said it. But other than that, great squad depth player. I really do think that. Martinelli. So some of you are going, well, you don't really have a left wing in the star player or great squad depth. You're right, because our left wing is probably the weakest it's been for a while. Now, I really rate Martinelli. I do. I really like the player. I think he's fantastic. I think he's got a lot of flair. He's very quick. He's got a lot of pace and he can move his feet really well. But his final third finishing is just horrendous. He can get to the final third, but he then can't do anything with it. Giving that, now, I know a lot of people don't like him. I love the man. And I think he's a great squad depth player. Now, this is my opinion. I'm not taking this off statistics. I'm not taking it off of, well, Trossard was technically better and Trossard had more passes or forward, whatever it is. Don't care. This is off of my list. This is my list, what I think. Okay? And I think he's a great squad depth player. So I've put him there. If Rodrigo comes in or Eze comes in, then do I move him to a backup player? Probably. I probably would. But it doesn't mean that I don't like him. But for 25-26, until that happens, I think he adds great squad depth. So for that reason, I'm putting Martinelli. Great squad. Up next is Jurrien Timber. Here he is. I reckon Jurrien Timber is a great squad depth player. He's not a star player. He's not a player that, if Timber's not on the pitch, you feel the difference, because we've got someone like Ben White. If everyone is fit, you could play Timber or Ben White, and I don't think the chances of the game winning or losing, obviously depending on teams, might change that. But I don't think it's really drastically affected. Whereas if we don't have Rice, we don't have Saka, we don't have Gabriel or Saliba, we feel that impact. And same with Odegaard as well. Like, we feel that impact. We feel that hole in the squad. Whereas I don't really feel that with Timber. I do think he's a fantastic player, but I don't know if without Timber, I still think we have a chance of winning the Premier League because we have someone like Ben White. This is all if everyone stays fit, no injuries. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but if it does, I don't think we need Timber to win the Premier League. I do think he's a great squad depth player. Next up is Calafiori. Calafiori is a funny one because once again, he's been riddled with injuries. From what I saw, or what we've seen of Calafiori in the small amount of games that he's played for us, seems to happen a lot with players. When we sign them, they just get injured and then don't play. Happened with Vieira, Timber, Calafiori, Jesus. Let's not jinx anything. So Calafiori is a funny one because we don't really need him in the squad. If that makes sense. If everyone is fit, you don't need that. But then saying that, if everyone's fit and everyone stays fit, you only really need 11 players. So I understand it's probably a bit overused. What do we have in left back? If we didn't have Calafiori, who would we have? We would have Myles, Lewis-Skelly. Behind that, we could probably have Kivior. Would I say that Calafiori is better than Kivior? Absolutely, I would. So for that reason, I'd probably have to put him at great squad depth. And then I'm going to probably move Kivior down to backup player. Because, let's face it, if everyone's fit, Kivior doesn't make that squad. And if you bring in someone on to replace someone, Gabriel's probably going to play every single minute of every game. And if you take him MLS off, you're probably putting Calafiori on, unless he's injured. So for that reason, then Kivior has to be a backup player. Unless that changes and Calafiori goes to backup player and Kivior all of a sudden makes the team. From what I've seen and what I think of the team and the players, I think it's probably safe to say that Calafiori will be the first/second choice left back, and then Kivior a backup for those positions. Obviously, he's still a backup for Gabriel, but then he has to be a backup player at that point. He's not great squad depth. You can't play Kivior if Gabriel is fit. You'd still play Gabriel every day of the week. Whereas you could play Calafiori or MLS. Like you can interchange that. Same with Ben White and Timber. You could play either or of them, which is what makes them a great squad player or great squad depth player. Now I know that I've got Kepa in there, and I realise that now, so I should probably move him down to great backup player because he is a backup player. He's never going to start over Raya. So yes, I will correct my mistake from the start. Thank you. All the people in the comments saying, oh, Kepa, he's not a great backup. Which leaves us with two players. My favourite two players. Now, anyway. Lewis-Skelly is a star player. Fantastic breakout season. I hope that he does the same and continues at an exponential pace into the 25-26 season. I'm so glad that we've tied him down for another 5 years. I think he absolutely fully deserves it. I will be getting a shirt. I'm going to get out and get Reiss and Lewis-Skelly. It's going to cost me a lot of money, which is where I need your help. If you're enjoying this video, or you've enjoyed the video so far, leave a like and comment, hit subscribe, anything, please. It really, really helps. Back to the video. Myles Lewis-Skelly is a phenomenal player. He's fantastic. He's brilliant. I ran out of words to describe for Myles Lewis-Skelly. He had a breakout season and was probably one of our best players. If he'd come in sooner, I reckon he could have been our Premier League player of the season because he was that good. He was that good. He didn't come in at the start. He came in kind of halfway through or towards like 10, 15 games in. If he'd started and we had him straight away, I reckon that we would be singing his praises even more than we already are. And the fact that we're singing his praises and saying he had a breakout season and he only played 25 games in the Premier League is incredible in itself. So for that fact, he is a star player and I hope that he only increases. Last on the list. Wow, this has gone quick, hasn't it? It's gone very quick. Ethan Nwaneri, the man, the myth, the legend. Ethan Nwaneri was making absolute moves in the academy, just ripping it up. He came onto the bench, had his youngest ever Premier League start under Mikel Arteta, scored some cracking goals for us, I must admit. Really, really showed some brilliance on the pitch. I remember him scoring against Brighton. I was in the stadium with my good friend, and that was a fantastic goal that he scored. But if we look at the squad depth that we have, and the potential sign-ins that we're looking to make, the gap for Ethan Nwaneri to succeed and grow and learn is getting smaller and smaller by the second. You've got Saka, which backup is Nwaneri, but we're looking to get Eze. So it's going to be Saka, Eze, potentially. You then look at the Martin Odegaard role of the squad, that right 8, and you've got Odegaard, Nwaneri, Eze, kind of covers those roles, as well as potentially Fabio Vieira if we don't sell him or loan him. We've also then got Zubimendi, which pushes Reiss and Havertz up as well. Don't really think any of them are going to be taking Odegaard's place. So where does Nwaneri fit into the squad? So if we get Eze, that kind of covers the role of what Nwaneri was doing. Nwaneri is he's a 10 or a right 8, isn't he? So Odegaard kind of covers that role at the moment. Saka's on the right. If one of them is injured, Nwaneri can come on. But what we saw from last season was that Nwaneri wasn't starting all of those games. And what was happening instead was someone else was covering him and he would finish the game with 20, 30 minutes. We could potentially do that. But what's to say that he wants to do that? What's to say that that is going to work for him? He is a great player. Do I think he needs a loan? Maybe. Yeah, I think he does. And the reason I say that is I don't want to see him sit on the bench and get less than 200 minutes. I want him to get minutes. I want him to play games. And I think with the squad at the moment, if everyone stays fit and the signings we're looking to make, I don't see that happening. For that reason, and because he's so young as well, you don't want to put that load on someone, but you also want him to gain experience. You want him to get momentum. You want him to get that snappiness that we need. I think we loan him out. And it's a different loan to Fabio Vieira. We're loaning out Fabio Vieira because it hasn't worked. The reason I would want to loan out Nwaneri is because I want him to get better, but we just don't have the space in the squad. We don't have space for him to have as many minutes as I think he deserves. Now, this is all if we sign Eze. If we don't sign Eze, we don't buy that backup attacker, then I think Nwaneri gets a lot more minutes. But that might hinder his career compared to going somewhere else. So I think personally that a loan wouldn't do him any harm. And that is an end to my squad depth talk. I hope you've liked it. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you agree with most of my choices. And if you don't, leave a comment below telling me what you would do. And we can talk about it on my next podcast episode. Hope you've enjoyed. See you again next time. And as always, come on you Gunners.